and wait for the red dot to go live. Yeah, okay. So hi everyone. Sorry about some technical issues. I was using the link from the last meetup, but that's fine. Hopefully everything will be okay. So let's welcome everyone. Thank you for for joining us this month today. We have special guests, two MVPs, Dharani and Drizzle. Please welcome. Um, Dharani will have a first session about a Power Platform Center of Excellence, and Drizzle will have a session about best practices about the Mix 365. So yeah, first I will hand over to Dharani. Um,
Thanks, Koa. Thanks, Koa, for your warm welcome. And also, I would like to extend my thank you for reaching out to me and providing me this wonderful opportunity to present in the Vietnam Dynamics 365 and Power Platform user group. And also, I would like to extend my thanks to everyone. So, in spite of you guys' busy schedule, you guys have taken time and joining today with us. Thank you all. Today, I'm going to cover the Power Platform COE kit. I will deep dive into it, what all the things are there in the Power Platform COE toolkit. I will just deep dive into it, but it won't be kind of theoretical. It is not like a practical session because we'll not be able to cover the complete the setup instructions in this 1 hour. So I will just explain the things and I will explain how you guys how you can set up things, and I will share the reference documents. So let me share my screen. So once you are able to see my screen, please let me know.
yeah, I see the screen now.
Okay.
Yep, you can see your screen.
Okay. So yes. So as I mentioned, today's topic is a deep dive into Power Platform COE toolkit. And before getting into the topic, let me give a small introduction about myself. Myself, Dharanidharan Balasubramaniam. So people call me Dharani. I'm based out of India. I do have 9 years of experience into Dynamics 365 CE and 2+ years of experience into Power Platform technologies, and I'm leading the Malaysia Dynamics 365 and Power Platform user group, and also leading the Tamil Nadu Dynamics 365 and Power Platform user group. I'm part of ASEANS Dynamics 365 and Power Platform user group, and also I do have my own YouTube channel, and over there I'll be posting videos on Dynamics 365 CE and Power Platform, especially on the CI/CD and the ALM track. And I do have my own blog site, like a d365.blog.com. So over there, on day to day, what all the technical challenges I'm facing, so all those things, the solutions, I will be posting it over there. And if you guys would like to connect with me, and please feel free to reach out to me either in my Twitter or LinkedIn handle. So I will post in the chat window. So if you guys have any queries or if you wish to connect with me, please feel free to reach out to me. And I'm a Microsoft MVP in the business applications area, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer too. Okay. And also in this session, if you guys have any queries, please feel free to unmute your mic and ask your questions, or else you can put it in the chat window at the end of the session. I will answer all your queries. Okay. So let's get into the topic. So before getting into the topic, let's take a moment and understand what is this Power Platform. And if you guys are if any of you guys new to Power Platform, let's take some moment and understand what is Power Platform and why the Power Platform is so important. So this Microsoft, the recent, not only the recent last 2 to 3 years, their complete focus is on the no code, low code approach. So that's where we get into this Power Platform. Power Platform is like a collective term of four Microsoft products like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Virtual Agents. And they provide the means to help people easily manipulate, surface, automate, and analyze data and it can be used with the Office 365 and Dynamics 365, as well as like you have lots and lots of third-party apps and other Microsoft services. You'll be able to leverage all those things inside your Power Platform, and you'll be able to do what all the operations you would like to do it without writing and code. I mean, like with writing a minimal amount of syntax. So typically, like business analyst or the product owners, if they have the detailed requirement and if they know like how it should be visualized, all those things, then quickly they can quickly drag and drop the controls in the canvas app, and they will be able to build the app without help of any technical guy or without having any coding knowledge. So this Power Platform is possible thanks to the Common Data Service, which is essentially the underlying data platform that provides an unified and simplified data scheme so that the applications and services can interoperate. And if you ask me like why this Power Platform is so important in the digital age, like we are completely reliant on data, and the amount of data the companies are creating is continuously increasing. While all this data is inevitable, it is useless unless companies gain insights and meaning from it. Correct. Historically, like the data analysis, app creation, or automation would be achieved by an IT or a development team. So this would require a staff to outline their requirement and aim submit this request to their IT team, or if they have the internal IT team, they will submit it to the IT team, or else if they have the external team, and they will submit to the partner, and then see whether it is an approved, and subsequently they need to wait for it to be built. And obviously we know like this would be a time consuming and would use like some valuable resources internally, or if you are outsourcing this project to some other external vendor, so obviously the cost is involved there. We need to fulfill some resource to achieve all these requirements. Correct. But if you considering this a Power Platform, so you no need to wait for anything actually. So with the help of this, you'll be able to build the applications with a minimal amount of time and with a minimal cost. This is why I am saying like this Power Platform is so exciting, and Power Platform enables the data democratization, the ability for the digital information to be accessible to the typical, I mean, like a non-technical end user. It provides the support technologies that allow staff to do more with their data themselves without writing or without having any coding knowledge. While it does not allow the interests and flexibility of a custom coding, but I do agree that see, we cannot achieve the complete thing, but it provides a simple method for most users to be able to create, automate, or analyze the data in a ways which have never been possible for the average worker. So that's the reason this Power Platform is very much so important in our normal scenarios, in our normal days. So that's the reason I'm saying like this Power Platform is so important. Now we have seen this Power Platform and why the Power Platform is so important. Now let's get into the topic and see like today's agenda would be like what is this Power Platform COE toolkit, and what all the things are there in the Power Platform COE toolkit, and I will quickly share the reference link for the setup instructions, and I will explain like what are the benefits we will get out of this Power Platform COE toolkit, and what are the limitations. There are few limitations which is available in this Power Platform toolkit, so that also we'll see, and then we'll end up our session with the question and answers. So if you ask me like what is Power Platform COE toolkit, this center of excellence in an organization drives innovation and improvement and brings together like-minded people with similar business goals to share knowledge and success, while at the same time providing the standards, consistency, and governance to the organization. See, this Power Platform Toolkit is a collection of components and tools that are designed to help you get started with developing a strategy for adapting and supporting the Microsoft Power Platform with a focus on Power Apps and the Power Automate. And this toolkit is a collection of As I mentioned, like it has a collection of components, like it has lots and lots of solutions. If you ask me, like this Power Platform toolkit, it has like some components, core components, it has governance components, it has nurture components, and all these kits provide some automation and tooling to help teams to build monitoring and automation necessary to support a COE. And this foundation of this kit is a Microsoft Dataverse data model and workflows to collect the resource information across the environments and the tenant. And also this kit includes multiple apps and Power BI analytics to view and interact with the data you collect in addition to the flows to collect the data across the environments. And also it will help with the workflows to your compliance needs. So all those benefits will be getting out of it. And this kit also provides several templates and suggested patterns and the practices for implementing the COE efforts. And this kit does not represent the complete entire COE because managing a COE requires more than tools. I'm sorry for that. The COE also requires people, communication, collaboration, and a defined requirement and the processes. These tools provided here are just a means to get to the end goal, but the COE itself must be thoughtfully designed by each organization based on the needs and preferences. But because each and every organization will have their own needs and preferences, so based on that, so the solution architects, they need to come up with their goals, what they need to achieve it in the COE toolkit. But whatever is there in this as part of this toolkit, these tools will help them actually for sure. It will help them to enable all the COE in their instances. But more than a tool, as I mentioned, like it requires the people effort, communication should be there, and predefined requirements and the processes should be put in place for the organization to have a better COE in place. And this establishing this Microsoft Power Platform Toolkit COE means investing in and nurturing organic growth while maintaining governance and control. And a COE is designed to drive innovation, improvement, and as a central function, it can break down geographic and organization silos. And COE can be a powerful way for an organization to align around business goals rather than the individual department matrix. So that also we need to consider here. And if you ask me, like, what are the main building blocks of this COE toolkit? And here is the thing. So the administration is there, governance, nurture, and theming is there. And what is the scope of this administration? So what you will get out of it is like you will gain insights into your Power Platform adoption, what all the values will be getting it, and the enterprise awareness and excitement, and you can showcase the value of your analytics, and you can make analytics come alive. And in the governance side, if you ask me like a scope, you can establish audit and compliance process, and what value will be getting out of it, discipline to use case development, and ensure selection of highest work value. In nurture, the accelerate your adoption by thriving within community of workers. That is our scope, and what value will be getting out of it enables sharing on best practices, accelerated onboarding of new markers. And themes, as per our organization, will have our own themes. You can create and manage the themes for the consistent look and feel. For example, in your organization, if you want to have all the power apps in a particular theme, then using this COE theming part, you can define your own theme. So what logo should be there, and what should be your text font should be, what should be a text font size, and how the text box look like, and what should be the border of it, and what should be the combo box border, all those things, what is the hover color of the combo box, all those things you can define it in the theming COE toolkit. You can generate that file, and you can create that as your template file for your organization, so that from your organization, anyone wants to create their own canvas app, so they can start leveraging this theme, and they can start building their apps. So with that, with this, what we will be achieving is like we'll have a consistent across all our apps. For example, if 10 apps are there in an organization, so each and every app will have the consistent look and feel. So that is the one of the main advantage we'll get out of it. And also like we'll be letting the makers concentrate on the real business problems without worrying about the consistent look and feel. Correct? Because see, they need to really focus on the business problem, what they are going to build to this canvas app. Correct? So they should not focus much on the UI side. So that's the reason, considering that in mind, so this theming has brought in place. Similarly, like each and everything, this administration, if you take this, it would be very helpful for the admins. And governance wise, you can governance your environments, you can governance your apps, you can governance your Power Automate or connectors, custom connections, app licenses, everything you will be able to monitor it with the help of this Power Platform COE toolkit. So that's the reason I'm saying like this administration, governance, nurture, theming, all those things are the building blocks of this Power Platform COE toolkit. And as I mentioned, like before getting into this, I just wanted to quickly like show the few things actually. Like okay, as I mentioned, like we do have like some of the components in this as part of this Power Platform COE toolkit. We have like some of the components like core components, governance components, nurture components, and theming components. So that is how they have classified actually. Now let's take a minute and understand like what is this core components all about, and how it is helping our organization to you if you use this core components, how this is helping our organization. So all those things will take some time, and we will understand this the process. Now we'll see the core components. As I mentioned, like four components are there. Core components, governance, nurture, and theming. First, let's start with the core components. Here in this core components, so this provides the core to get started with setting up a center of excellence. So they sync all your resources into tables and build an admin apps on top of that to help you get more visibility of the apps, flows, and the makers in your environment. Additionally, apps like the setup permissions help with the daily admin task, and these core components contains asserts relevant only to the admins. So this is not mainly for the makers actually. This is mainly for the admins, and this core components is the main block actually. So to start with the COE, so you should start setting up the core components first. And what all, if you ask me like what all the things in the core components, it has like Microsoft Dataverse tables, and it has lots of flows actually in order to maintain the app, Power Apps, Power Automate, connections, the custom connectors, environments. So what all the errors we are getting it, and flow action detail, all those things. It has a multiple, it has a different flows in the our Dataverse environment. So all those flows will be running if you import this manager solution, the core component solution into our instance, and if you are setting up all these solutions, then it will be tracking each and everything about your environment, apps which is there in your instance, Power Automate, what all the connectors you are using, and if you are building any custom connector, all those things, everything would get assessed or would get monitored along with this Power Platform COE toolkit. And we do have this environments. So this environment object which contains, as we mentioned, as we are aware of it in the Power Platform, we do have a environment, and the environment what it will be there is like it contains apps, flows, connectors, so all those things there. But here this flow it will run, and it will capture the environment ID, display name, what is the URL created on, and who has created it, which region it is there, number of apps which is there in this instance, and number of flows which is there, and a number of custom connectors, and who is the environment owner, and what is the business area, and what is the approved capacity. So all those things will be there. And we do have this Power Apps app, and this represents an app, and what all the informations it will be there under the Power Apps is like, as I mentioned, like app name and which environment this app is there, and who is the owner and who has created it, modified on, published on, when it is last launched on, and what is the app plan it has, like app plan classification in the sense whether it is a standard app or premium app or extended app, and whether it is shared with the users, groups, or shared with the tenant, and what is the app type, whether it is a canvas app, model driven app, or whether this app has been created from the SharePoint, or whether this app is an orphaned app, and whether it is exclusive from archival. All those information would be available in this Power Apps app. And similarly, we do have the Power Automate, and in the Power Automate, like here it is there in the Power Automate, as I mentioned, like flow ID will be there, and which environment this flow is there, and what is the state of it, whether it is a started, suspended, or stopped, when it is created or modified, whether this flow is orphaned, when is the flow trigger happened, whether it is an excluded from the archival. All those information will be there in the flow. Similarly, like we do have the flow action detail, and this represents the set of actions that occurs in a cloud flow. This table has many to one relationship with the flow table, and what all the information it will have in this particular table is it will have the type, whether it is a scope or for each, or so all those informations will be there, and operations also will be there, and is the trigger, what trigger it has been triggered, all those the flow action details in this will be there in the flow action detail. And we do have the Power Apps connector, and this represents a standard or a custom connector. We do have like two types of connectors. One is the standard and the custom connector. And in this Power App connector, it will hold the connector ID, and what is the icon background color and URL, whether it is a custom connector, and who is the maker, and who is a publisher of this custom connector, and what tier this custom connector belongs to, whether it is a standard one or premium one. So all those things will be there. And similarly, we do have the Power Apps portals. That is not there in the slide, but this core components also has this Power Apps portal. That will hold the Power Apps website ID, name, and the record status, and which environment that this Power Apps portal is tagged to, and who has created this one, and when this has been created, when it was last modified, whether this portal is orphaned. All those information will sit in this Power Apps portal. And we do have the connection references. If you are using a custom connector or the standard connector, for sure you need to establish a connection, correct? So that connection references sits in the connection reference table, and that will have the relationship to the custom connector. And also this will have the information about the maker, and the maker, as I mentioned, maker represents it's a developer. Actually, it's represent a user who has created an app or a flow custom character environment. The maker. It's simply represents the developer, and what is the ID, the user ID, email ID, city, country, department, job title, and how many number of apps this maker has created, and how many number of flows this maker has created. So all those information sits in the maker one. And we do have the audit log also. The audit log will hold the details of the launched app and the deleted app and the deleted flow, when the app has been launched, how many days this app has not been launched, all those information. So it will be there in the audit app. So based on that, for example, this COA Toolkit, one of the recently which I have noticed is like I was not using one of we have onboarded the COA Toolkit in our organization, and what I have noticed is like as part of this audit log, recently, like a couple of days back, I have received an email saying that this app is like unused for these many days. Do you want to have this app, or do you want to archive this app? So all this kind of benefits will be getting out of our COE, and all this information would be available in the audit log table. And similarly, like we do have some more database tables like this platform, Power Platform user, Power Platform user role, and Power Virtual Agent components. So all those things, and we do have this RPA, robotic process automation, and environment capacity. what is the capacity type, unit and actual consumption, and what is the rated consumption, and if you have installed any environment add-ons, one what is the add-ons we have installed, and how many unit it has allocated for the particular add-on. All those things it would be captured over there. So these are all the benefits, and these are all the components which is there in the core components. All these things are the administration things. So as we see, if you see here, like we do have the model driven app, and these are all the some of the custom apps which we have actually. So if you take this model driven app, and here we do have this Power Platform, the admin view, and if you go to this, if you do this the setting up of this core components, and you'll be able to see in Power Platform admin view model driven app, and over there if you go, and what all the environments you have, and how many makers, and what all the apps you have, flows, all those things would be all the details. You will be able to see it from this Power Platform admin view. And similarly, like you can set up your app permissions, and you need to set up the flow permissions, a DLP editor, DLP customizer. All those things are available, and all these are part of this Canvas app. And we do have a separate Canvas apps in this core components. And if you install this core components, you'll be able to see all this as the model driven app, Canvas app, and the Power Automate. And we need to enable all this Power Automate, the model driven app, and Canvas app in order to get all these benefits out of this COE core components. And in order to install this COE core components, what is the prerequisites? And here are some of the prerequisites. We need to have the Power Platform service admin for access to all our tenant resources, and ideally a dedicated environment with the CDS instance should be required for installing the COE, and it helps to have a separate DLP policy associated with the COE environment to enable all the admin connectors. And Power App Premium licensing is required for using the our this one Dataverse. So that is required for sure. If you want to have the COE in your tenant, then for sure you need to have the premium license. And here is the solution. So you can see the solution here, the Center of Excellence core. This is the managed solution, and you can get it from the Microsoft Docs link. I will post this call. I will share the particular link in the chat window. So you can go to that particular link, and you can pick this particular solution, and you can start importing this solution into your instance. So from there, like, you are good to start using this as the core components. And we do have like a good amount of dashboards. We do have like a good amount of dashboards with we do have like a good amount of dashboards in this the COE toolkit, which will provide a holistic view with the visualizations and the insights into the your tenants actually. Like what I'm trying to say is like after installing this core component in your machine and in your tenant, we do have the COE dashboard, and here is the dashboard. So in the left hand side, you can see the image which I have added. So here you can see this, the monitor, govern, nurture. So all those, as in the previous screen, I have explained about this environments and the makers, app guides, and the flow groups, all those things we have seen in detail, right? What all the information which will be available where. So all those things, and they have given separately here. So this is the first page of this dashboard. So it will provide an overview of all the areas and their purposes, in addition to the buttons to use, go to the different section pages. For example, if you want to get into the custom connectors, you want to know more about the custom connector, you want to monitor the custom connectors, then if you click on that, then you will be able to navigate to that particular place, and you will be able to see what all the custom connectors you have, who has created it, and when this has been modified, and whether it's a premium, standard, on all those things would be listed in one particular area in this particular this COE dashboard. This will have all the details actually. And so this one, like as I mentioned, like this app, this the different things, like one is like the environment overview. Once again, let me switch to my notes. Yeah. So yeah, so as I mentioned, like in this core components, we do have about this the environments, and this environments will have the details of how many environments we do have in our particular instance, and who has created this particular environment, and who is total number of environment makers, total number of the custom connectors. So all those things would be listed here. But especially if you navigate to this environments, the tab over there, like you will get like what type of environment it is, and the number of resource per environment, and the number of environments by type, and top environment creators. So all those things you will be able to get it actually in this particular dashboard. And here you can see here like the total environments, and the total environments created this month, total environment creators, total custom connectors in the environments, the CDS for the API, the apps instances. So all those would be the listed here in the detail. So you can switch it to the multiple things, and you will get an insights out of it. And similarly, like if you go to this here, it is an environment, and if you click on this app, and the app will have like what are the total number of apps, total number of apps is created this month, and total number of app makers, how many app makers are there, and total number of canvas app and model driven app, and number of production apps. So all those details you will be able to see it in the graph. And also you can see your app creation trend, your top active departments, and environments that have the largest number of apps, and you will get all the list view from this particular the dashboard. So all those things you'll be able to see it here, and that is the advantage of it. And next we do have the flows. Similarly, like you will be able to see the total number of flows created this month, and how many flows we have in our instance, and total number of flow makers, and what are the suspended flows, how many active flows are there, how many stopped flows are there. So all those things, which department is having an many flows, how many departments is the department wise the count of the flow, all those things you will be able to get it with this Power BI dashboard. So and here we do have this app risk management. As an admin, like you want to use the insights you gather to drive the actions such as performing the risk assessments and identifying the critical orphan and unused resources. For example, one app, one resource might have created long back, but he might not be using that particular app for a long time. So there is no point of keeping all those the unused apps in the environments, correct? So typically we need to clean up all those the unused apps, and we need to make the space available. So we need to organize and keep things proper actually. And for that we do have lots of the Power Automate flows as part of this COE toolkit. Like that Power Apps, the toolkit, it will weekly it will run, and it will check for whether this app is launched in the 6 months, whether it is modified in the 6 months, or excluded from our COE processes. It will check all those things. If it is an yes, if any of this activity is done, whether it is a launched or modified, or if it is not excluded from the process, it won't do anything. Or else again, it will send out an approval to the person saying that, or it will notify the COE admin saying that this has not been launched in the 6 months and it has not been modified. All those the backend, the Power Automates are there, so it will trigger, and it will in weekly it will trigger, and it will take care of all the cleanup activities. It will send out a notification saying that this is there is no activity happened in this particular Power Automate. So do we need to keep it, or we don't need to do anything? So those kind of the possibilities are available. So that's what I'm trying to say actually. So it's mainly like it's a cleanup activity, so we need to do it properly. So all those benefits are available in the COE toolkit, even for the Power Apps, and also for the flows also the same thing it happens. So it will monitor regularly, and it will govern regularly. Instead of monitor, I can say like it's governed regularly, and properly it will send out a notification to the CO admin to take care of to govern this Power Platform instances in a proper manner. And as I mentioned, like this nurture, this makerspace, at a glance, it will helps you to see your top makers and how many apps and flows those makers have created, and your top active departments. All those things here you'll be able to see it here. So here you can see like the top app makers, 13 app makers are there, like top flow makers 11 are there. And here we'll get an creation trend, the pictorial, the representation of it. And here the department wise, like how many, which department is having how many apps in the from this marketing department, and this person is having how many apps flows. All those details will be able to see it here. And the top 10 active departments also, it is available in this COE starter toolkit. As I mentioned before, see, this is like just a starting point for an organization to start with an COE thing, the center of excellence thing. See, each and every organization will have their own requirement and will have their own process. And if they want to modify it, and they can modify their center of excellence as per their requirement actually. So because each and every organization, they will do their take care of the admin activity in a different manner. So it's not like they will be following one, it's the predefined step. It's not like that. It has the flexibility to modify the things also. So if you wanted, you will be able to modify the things as per your requirement. And here we do have the custom connectors. As I mentioned, like this custom connectors, it will show like total custom connectors, how many is there, and what are the system connectors, and how many the test has been created, and what is the usage of this custom connector, and how many makers has created this custom connectors. All those informations will be able to see it. And if any customer create a custom connector is created, and if you're not using that in an app, so all those would be listed over here. See, you can see here used in apps, used in flows. So all those details will be available here. Similarly for the connections also, like here we do have this the SharePoint integration. And if you go to this particular page, and what all the connections we have established, so all those connections would be listed over here. Here you can see the two screenshots. One is for the SharePoint integration connection, and the other one is like the normal connections. So even if you are establishing if you are using some Microsoft Dataverse connector, and if you are establishing a connection to it, and all those things are considered as a connection. So which the connector this the connection is associated, and who has created it, and which maker has created it, and which flow connection it is. All those things you will get a good insights out of this particular COE dashboard. And similarly, like we do have the app license. This app license assessment page is to view apps that use the premium or the standard features, and drill down into the connectors, departments, and makers that are using the premium connectors. In the left hand side, you can see like how many number of apps are there, how many like a standard one, how many premium one, and how many are not having anything. So all those things, all those details you will get out of it. And the right hand side, you can see like what is the app, like how many unique users and how many sessions they are creating it. So all those details will get an insights how the users are, how many users are actively using the app. All those insights you will get out of this app license assessments dashboard. And we do have this app guru, flow guru. So if you go to this, the first page, so you'll be able to see lots of, you can see here, like in the nurture, we have the makers, app gurus, flow gurus, app shares, app usage, app adoption, like lots of things are there. I have like taken a couple of the dashboards, and I have explained it due to the time constraint, but you can see lots of things in the monitor, govern, the nurture thing actually, like see in this the first page, it will give you the what all the things are there, and all these things are buttons actually. If you click on this, it will navigate to you to the other pages. So you, by clicking on this, you will be able to go to that particular page, and you will be able to see the things, and necessarily if any action admin needs to be taken, and he can take those particular actions. So that is the advantage we'll get out of it. Next, we do have the governance one. So we have seen in detail the core components. Now the next we do have the governance. Until now we were taking care of we were seeing the administration part. Now the governance part came into the picture. As I mentioned, I have explained this previously only, but like what I'm mentioning is like. I have mentioned about the app archive and the cleanup view. Like I have mentioned, like there are a couple of business process flows or the flows available. So that will take care of the cleanup activity. Like every week it will run and it will check whether this app has been launched, modified, or it will monitor it whether any app the user has access to this particular app or not. So all those things they will this governance piece is having a business process flow, and that is taking care of all those things actually. Okay, and this has built-in business process flow, power automate flows, all those things, and that will take care of all this governance process. But as part of this governance, we do have one model driven app, and we have a couple of business process flows, and the canvas app is also there. And as I mentioned, like this will take care of the cleanup activities and all those things. So and also I will share the reference link for this governance core components also in the chat window, so you can go through it in detail. And if you guys have any questions, then please feel free to reach out to me. And similarly, like this is also the part of the governance only. So as I mentioned, like these are all the things. It has actually here in detail it explained about the which I have explained the previously. Like it will run the Power Automate weekly, and it will check for it, and it will email to the app owner, and if anything is if any of the organization will define some standard for that in order to for the Power Apps, Power Automate, or for all those Power Platform components. If that particular the maker is not following that particular the standards, then this the Power Automate which is there, it will validate and it will email to the owner and asking for a business justification and why this app is not compliant to the organization standards and all. So based on that, the admin will be taking care of the activities and all. So all those things it would be seen in the particular Canvas app. So in the previously here, the developer compliance center. So if the admin log into this particular center here, what all the apps are there in the organization, the environment wise it would be listed there. And if you go there, it will show the health status and whether it is a green, red, or it is in the warning state. All those details it would be there, and so those things are based on that. The admin will be able to he can reach out to the app owner and he can ask for the business justification whether why this app is not compliant, and so based on that he will be able to take care of the activities and all. But the one good thing is here the admin they no need to reach out to the owner manually, and all those things are here in the actors. You will be able to see it. The system will take care of all those activities. The system will monitor and it will send out an email to the app owner will respond to it, and based on that COE admin will act upon what all the things he need to do actually. So all those things are there in place as an automated process. So that's what I'm trying to say. And next we do have the nurture process in the core components. Like we do have this app catalog here, which I mean in the previously I have shown that this one app compliance center, similarly developer compliance center, similarly we do have this app catalog. So this catalog this also will list all the what all the apps it will have actually. And it also has some of the apps like training in a day management and training in a day registration. So all those things, whenever the new person is onboarded, or if admin want to send any newsletter with the product updates, and from this particular app he will be able to send it to all the employees actually. And if anyone is onboarded newly, and if you want to send out a welcome email, so all those things he'll be able to do it from the app catalog. And training in a day feedback reminder, and the training in a day registration confirmation, and a reminder 3 days prior to an event if you want to configure any training for the employees, and all those things in this particular app admin will be able to take care of it. And if he or she wants to send out a newsletter with the latest products updates and all, they will be able to send it. And also like once the event is completed, once the training is completed, and if they would like to capture the feedback from the employees, and as part of this feedback reminder, and this is associated with the Forms Pro, and it also has this training feedback form. Once configured, the link can be pasted into the here. You can see here once this is configured, and you can copy this link, and you need to pass this link as an environment variable for this particular app. Then this will automatically send a feedback reminder to all the employees who has participated in that particular training. Okay, so all those things are available here. Okay, and this is as part of the nurture components. And this COE toolkit also has some of the limitations actually. So like I have listed some of the limitations here, like configuring the retry policy, like how we need to configure this the timeout and retry. And see, there is a concurrency issue with the for each loop, and how we need to reduce the concurrency in the for each loop, so to reduce the simultaneous calls within the step. So that will helps us to reduce the degree of parallelism, because if you take an on the Power Automate, so you cannot get a deep dive into like 8 loops, correct? So if you are getting into an 8 loops, still it won't execute at all. So all those things, it's the developer thing, so he need to take care of it. But even though if he is missing out all those things, as part of the COE is in place, it will monitor all those things, and it will take care of it. But some of the things it is not there in place actually as part of COE, so that the developers needs to take care of it. But I hope like Microsoft will fix all those limitations very soon. But till that point of time, we need to be very cautious, and we need to be take care of all those things actually. And this tool currently does not work for the custom connectors that are installed as part of a managed solutions. So I have mentioned like this 2 slides will have the limitations that we need to keep in mind. And this COA toolkit is available for the GCC environments. However, the custom connector to connect to Office 365 audit logs is not available for GCC environments yet. So this is one of the limitation. And embedding the Power Apps, the Canvas app and Power BI dashboards is not available for GCC environments. And what is this GCC is like a government community cloud. Here we have mentioned it. And like in the SyncFlow side, it is currently it is not possible to retrieve the modern driven apps for the developer environments. And we do have some of the issues in the custom connectors on the DLP side, where the custom connector shipped as part of the solution to the business data. Only group of your DLP policy, we need to use the PowerShell commands that have been provided in order to achieve this one. And the theming components, the shared the component in the theming components, there are some of the shared component library. If you go to the component library, some of the components are shared, and all those things are not editable. So you need to make your own copy to extend those things. So all those certain limitations are there, but I hope the Microsoft would be fixing this limitations very soon. But till that point of time, we need to keep in mind this limitations, and we need to as a developer, like we need to take care of all these things, because if you are not keeping in mind with all these things, again this the COE toolkit it will run since the limitations are not there. So without it's like we are not doing the compliance. so we'll be missing some of the complaints actually. So that is the reason. So I'm saying like we need to keep all those limitations in mind and we need to act on it. Similarly, like the admin also considering all these things, we need the admins also keep all these limitations in mind, and he need to be very careful in apart from whatever the out of box thing is there. He need to be taking care of all those things in order to achieve the compliance in what are all the components which we are building in our organization. And that's it from my end. If you guys have any questions, like please feel free to ask me. You guys can unmute your mic and you can ask your questions, or if anything in the chat window, like I will.
Thanks, Dharani. That was very informative. I have a question. There are a lot of components like model-driven app, Power Apps, Canvas app, flows, a lot of flows. Can we make changes to those components?
So those are managed solution, right? So those are managed solution. Like what I would suggest is like take a copy of the app. Like see each and every, see the Microsoft has built it as per the normal standard, considering all the organizations and thing in mind, and they have built it. But each and every organization will have their own. But what I would suggest is like instead of touching that, you can clone your app and you can start building that, and you can update things in your way how your organization based on your requirement and based on your process you can configure it, Kova.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Anyone else have questions? Please feel free to unmute and yeah, or put it in the chat window. So from my experience with my clients, they usually ask for a dashboard, like a report of what they have in their environments. So this one is very useful in terms of reporting. With the COE dashboard, they can see every environment. You can see what inside the environments, what apps they have, and who created it. So that's very useful for them. And we don't have it before. Now we have it. Then I think they will like it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. If you guys have no questions, then thanks once again, Kova, for reaching out to me and providing me this wonderful opportunity. And thank you everyone for patiently listening to the session. Thanks once again for joining.
Thanks for joining us, Dharani. Thanks for your time. Yeah. So now let me hand over to Drizzle. Hi Drizzle, are you there?
Hello, Koa. Good afternoon. Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, now yes, the stage is yours.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much. And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. And thank you so much for joining our session this afternoon. And hoping you are all doing great. And I am really excited for today's session. So, first is I just want to check if you can see my PowerPoint presentation. Number one, and then if you can hear me loud and clear, just give me some heart or thumbs up reactions. Okay. All right. So thank you for that confirmation. So I believe this session will be a great year ender for 2021 and a good starter for 2022 for us to rise and be resilient amidst the COVID pandemic crisis. So here, this will give us hope on how we can be successful with Microsoft Business applications. So now I am presenting the ABCs of Microsoft BizApps practice. So our secret that will be told. All right. So before I move to the ABCs or to my actual session, I just want to introduce myself and I'll also turn on my video. So for those who don't know me yet, I'm Doher Drizzle Pablo, or you can call me Drizzle. So it is like a busy or productive Saturday session for me because I just finished a volunteer training session. So now I'm back here. Thanks, Koa, also for this opportunity. So currently, I am with Microsoft Philippines as the business group lead for business applications. And of course, I was also the founder and practice leader in DMD Chic mode. Then I am still a community leader for BizApps PH and Power BI PH. And also, as shared by Koa, I am also a Microsoft MVP for business applications. And I am a blessed and highly favored daughter of God. And I already have kids. I am also a mother of these three cute kids. All right. So that's all about me. And I'll be moving to the first ABCs of Biz apps. But before anything else, I want to learn more about you. Okay, so we will start our session with some questions since you want to make it engaging, interactive, as well as fun. I also want to get to know you. So please go ahead and type your answers on the chat panel. So you can choose one or you can answer all the questions because your answers or these answers from these questions will be our anchor as we start our journey to success. So, whatever path you want to choose with Biz Apps, then I can tailor fit the session as well. Okay. So, the questions will be is first is what is your childhood dream? Second is what is your hobby? And third is what is your passion? So while everyone are still thinking about your answer, wow, thank you, Koa. So your childhood dream is becoming a doctor. That's so good. How about the rest? Well, for me, my childhood dream was to become a superstar, like an artist. So, and then when I was in my grade school years, I want to become a lawyer. And then when I grew up, I want to be an entrepreneur. So it's changing. All right. But I think I have here there's one becoming a banker. All right. So why do I have these questions? Why do we need to always look back and check our core? Because knowing ourselves even better, knowing our strengths, our weaknesses, will be able to identify the opportunities that we can explore and spread our wings. So here for ABCs of business application practice, it's a combination of the playbook that was released by Microsoft. If you want to start your Microsoft Business Application Practice or the business or the implementation services, they have a guide. But aside from that guide, I personalize it based from my understanding and experience. All right. So Google all the time. Oh, that's your hobby. Yeah. So continuous learning, playing games all day and expanding our user group. So I believe that's really the passion of Koa and we really can feel it, Koa. All right. So now I'll be moving to are you ready to know our secret on how we can achieve our dreams, your goals, or your visions? So let's get it started. It's the ABCs of Microsoft Business Applications Practice. So A is for always be. So I will ask you to complete this statement. These words will be important as you set your mindset. So for example, for me, I can say I am always ready or always be ready, always be open, always be available. I know some of you notice that if somebody will send me a message. If I can do it, then I will say yes, right? So this will be a good start. B is for believe. So here, what you believe, then you can definitely achieve. So of course, I know the law of attraction. I am also a believer on that. But of course, I know we always have our own opinion, beliefs, and our culture, but we respect that. But number one is you need to start believing in yourself. Stepping out with confidence is also one of the secret to success. And I'm sorry if some of you are in religion, sorry. I didn't mean, but for me, it's more on believing in God's plan because I always hold on to the real definition of success where my plan and his plan meet. Okay. And lastly is believe that you have your family and loved ones who will support you no matter what happens. So through thick or thin, through success or none, there will be supporters who will believe in you. Okay. C, I mean, C is for communication is the key. All right. So here, keeping our lines or our minds for opportunities that will come along the way as you start your practice. And then every one of us is unique. So we need to know the best way to deal or to communicate with them. So lastly, the last point here is listening skills and not listening kills. Because if we fail to do it, then listening kills and we will not be able to, let's say, meet the requirement or make our customers or clients satisfied if we fail to really listen. D is for define. Define with a clear understanding of the Microsoft Dynamics 365 practice opportunity. The first step is to define the strategy you will use to build your own practice. So it's like building a foundation of a house. Thinking through your strategy is critical to the long term success of your practice. E is for explore. Explore what we have is just the limitless opportunities with Microsoft. So when you look at Microsoft Business Application, this is the ecosystem. There are different components as what Dharani and Koa mentioned from the previous session. So we have a wide array of Microsoft ecosystem. So everything is covered from the core apps, first party up to third party application. So you just need to explore the possibilities, opportunities, and the Microsoft solutions. F is for flexible solution. So it's connected with the Explore. So such flexible and customizable offering can translate to higher customer satisfaction and a stickier solution that offers the potential of a long-term relationship with your client or customer. So it also means that a broader range of revenue opportunities in deployment services, even like custom IP developments and managed services, then a practice focus on deploying the off the shelf or out of the box or standard solutions. All right. G is for grow. Grow your knowledge. So we just need to continue studying, understanding what's in Microsoft BizApps, not just with Microsoft BizApps, but the complete ecosystem of Microsoft. And then we grow our business or you grow your business. So you just need to facilitate the growth opportunities and better strategies to expand your market reach. And lastly, this is very important, is we grow our relationship. We maximize our partner network, we maximize or you join Microsoft community and you also connect to the different Microsoft user groups. So remember, get ready, be connected, and grow. H is for hire with the heart. How can we hire the best talent? So let's start building our team by creating a hiring plan. So we just need to define our members and roles required. It is also critical that all your business application practice resources are trained and then continuing to receive ongoing training. And lastly, of course, hire a talent with a good attitude because skills can be trained and developed. I is for identify capabilities and skills. So here, as you can see, we just need to know our team members, our resources, because they are one of our ingredients to success. So we can just start with the easiest, which is the SWOT analysis, like the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Then that's a good start when we do our assessments or evaluation. J is for just compensation. It's not about the song, it's not about the money, 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 like the song price tag. It's about the complete package, like the benefits of our resources. If we are thinking our customers, like what's in it for our customers, our employees are also our internal stakeholders. So we should also think about what's in it for them. What are the components of their compensation? And then K is knowledge is power. I know it's just a cliche statement, but it's true. We need to know and understand our solution offering and the technology itself. So knowledge and practice. L is for launch the right resources. All right. So even if we are a startup or you're already an established practice or firm, you still need to establish your playbook or manual in preparation for your expansion, as well as clear, easy, and streamlined process. You can also leverage our technical benefits as a Microsoft partner, and the more we use the solutions, the more confident we can offer it to our clients. And lastly is these templates should be readily available anytime. And Microsoft will give you all the framework, the guidance, so you just need to take advantage of it. M. M is for marketing. It's all about connections, connections, connections that we don't have yet, but we can establish, and our practice will be known by using these strategies. So we can still leverage the traditional, digital, and even utilizing Microsoft marketing tools like Content MX and Chorus. N is for nurture relationship. So we are just treating each other as family. Treat your customers and even your employees or family members. So you show them that you care. O is for opportunities. Projects. If there's an ABCs in selling, we also have in our practice. So develop relationship, build or assess the needs, and offer the right solution. P. P is for if C is for communication is the key, P is also PM is the key. Scrum or Agile, every project is unique. So we can tailor fit the right or best project management methodology in every project. We can also follow or leverage the industry's best practice approaches. All right. So we also have Scrum for business applications. So you can also explore that path. But then again, every project is unique. Q is for quality, tantamount to excellence. Excellent in in delivering our projects, excellent or quality or great members, and lastly, best relationship like a family relationship. R is for remember. Remembering these concepts or understanding these will aid us in excellent projects. But of course, I'll not dig deeper because we will have different sessions for this or different sessions that this user group will offer. So this is just high level of these concepts. So remember ALM, DevOps, and design thinking. So I know earlier that center of excellence is a newest addition in the ecosystem, or if we are implementing or we have deployed Dynamics 365 or Power Apps or any of the components of business applications. That's very helpful. We can tie it up to our ALM for that center of excellence. Then we also have our DevOps and design thinking. S is for support. Support our customers and our employees in the practice. We will be their partners for life, and we are looking at a long term opportunity or it's a long term commitment. T is for trust. Relationship built on trust. We are partnering with Microsoft. Microsoft built its trust globally, and we need to value it. All right. So, like the zero trust, security. So, everything for Microsoft, it's just relationship built on trust. U is for updated all the time. Since technology is fast paced and dynamic, 365 is dynamic, you need to be updated, let's say, with the release notes, Microsoft events, and community events. So we highly recommend that you join and participate in the different events of Microsoft, the user group, and of course, our community. So never stop learning. V is for values are important. Benefits, what's in it for you when you run a practice, what's in it for the clients if they get the solution, as well as for your team members. W. W is for wellness of everyone is prioritized because it's simply health is wealth. X is for X factor. Dynamics 365 professionals or consultants or BizApps consultants, we are unique. We are one of a kind. So I hope there will be more of us in the future. Y is for yearn to serve and make a difference. So that's we are showcasing our passion to the community, clients, and our team members. And lastly, Z is for Zeal the Deal. Zeal is our power to achieve our dreams. Zeal our biz apps practice and let us aim and get it started or get 2022 started as a year to be resilient. And to conclude, I am sharing this chart with Microsoft's Partner Practice Development Framework. So this defines how to take a business application practice from concept to growth in 5 stages. So it is the foundation of this playbook, and each phases or in each phase of the framework is covered in every letter. So number 1 is define strategy. So I've covered it from letter A to G. Number 2 is hire and train. So I've covered it from letter H to K. Number 3 is sales and marketing readiness, which I covered it from letter L to O. And then fourth is operationalize, which I covered from P to S. And lastly is the optimize and grow, which we cover it from letter T to Z. So this is the ABC for BizApps practice. So ready, set, BizApps, and hoping to hear your success stories in your practice. So even if you're a leader or you're a team member, you can contribute to the success of your organization. So that's all about. I would like to share my sources. So Microsoft Business Applications Playbook, Microsoft Documentation and Learn, then Google. So again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope I was able to inspire and empower everyone who attended this session, this Saturday session. Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. I feel empowered already, ready to for a new year.
Yes.
And everyone else, if you have any questions, just feel free to unmute your mic. Yeah, just one question, Drizzle. If you can share your slide with
Yes.
us, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, very interesting.
Yes.
And the
Sure.
and all the colors and the yeah, and this animation is very interesting.
It's
Yeah.
very me.
Okay. If we have no more questions, I think we can close it here. And again, thank you everyone for joining us today. Thank you for our MVP for joining us as well. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Dharani. If you are there, okay, he's left. That's fine. Yeah, thanks everyone. And let's see again next month, I think. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thanks, you guys. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thanks. Bye, everyone. See you soon.
Goodbye. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Rizal. Goodbye.